What's going on, guys? My name is Seapeekay and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today, we are back with an incredible new game that I have had the privilege of playing on stream for a few hours already, but we're going to be starting a fresh save today. This video is sponsored by the wonderful people at Omega Crafter, and when I tell you that I think you guys are going to love this game, I genuinely mean it. I mean, you can see just from the things that are going on behind me right now. Look how adorable these little companions are. They're literally doing jobs and huge PvE, loads of stuff to get into. I can't wait to tell you more about it, but without further ado, let's go ahead and make our little character. So this game is in early access right now. You can get it on Steam. Of course, character name is going to be Seapeekay, and our buddy name, our name is already in use. That's because I already have the name, of course. We're going to be the 3 letters Seapeekay. Great. And then our buddy Grammy name, these guys are called Grammys, and it's going to make sense why very soon. We're going to call them subs. So it's like you guys over on YouTube that are watching right now. Then you got a few customization options. Keeps it nice and simple. Let's have blue hair. Why not? Then you can pick the color of your Grammy. I'm going to make it match me. Let's go with the light blue. Let's go with the light blue vibe. And of course, you get to select what little hat they have because they know that cuteness sells games. Let's give him a little chef hat, shall we? So then you can name your world. You can either pick a seed or let a randomly generated seed spawn for you. And you can choose your difficulty. I like to keep it on normal for now because I haven't learned everything about the game yet, and I don't want to jump in too far. And the good news is that this is multiplayer for, I believe, up to 5 players. We're going to be playing single player today, though. Let's see the world that generates around us, and I'll tell you more about the amazing game that is Omega Crafters. So I genuinely think that this has the possibility to be an absolutely huge survival/crafting game. I was actually blown away when I got the email asking if I wanted to play this game. I'd never heard of it, but I checked it out and instantly fell in love. First of all, with this little dude. I mean, come on. Look at this little dude. Follows you around. Look like you got a little bestie while you play. Like, feels good. But what you're going to learn is that this game also becomes massively about automation. And you can actually get lots and lots of these little guys and have them do things for you, like farm, cut down trees, forage for items. But it also teaches you a little bit of coding, which is very, very cool. So this whole thing we're going to see now is a tutorial. I am going to blast through it because we have done the tutorial before, but we can come up to this pod, grab some stuff out. As you can see, pretty general inventory style, and we can check the map. So the premise of the game is that you are a game developer and there's viruses and bugs in your game. So instead of fixing them externally, you end up inside the game making a character to defeat those bugs and viruses yourself. Very cool concept. But now we need a place to put our city. So we are going to go ahead and get our little city statue. Open the build menu with B. So we got the build menu here, city symbol, and we're going to plonk it right here. Bonk. Right. That now means that our city can be built here. So you cannot build on the grass, but you can build on the tiles. Oh, sorry. I've made that mushroom. Oopsie. And the tiles are expandable. We are going to be doing more with that. As you can see, we have a bit of wood, so we're going to open it up, and we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a workbench. And then we go to the workbench, and we can select what item we'd like to make. So these are all the items that we can make from the start. More and more items unlock as you level up. But the first thing we're going to want is a stone axe. We do not have the correct amount of things, so I'm going to go ahead and add my wood. But we need a stone. So now we're going to look around for areas that have big stones, and near big stones generally are small stones. As you can see on the middle of the screen too, we do have a stamina bar. So we're going to grab a stone, grab a few extra because we're going to need to come back out to grab more of these anyway. We also do have a roll. So you can, the PvE combat is actually really good. It's very skill based. So if you're good at stuff like this, you have a field day. Right, now we have the stones. We can come back, add it here, and then we just press E to start crafting. 2-second craft, and blammo. We've grabbed ourselves an axe. We're going to put in slot 1. Now we can cut down trees. Now, cutting down trees in this game is much actually like PvP. You literally chop through it. So, like, as if you are fighting it, basically. But the stamina goes back up pretty quick. It's not too dulling. Doesn't stop you from doing too much. So, once we're going to cut down a tree, does take a bit of work the first couple times. All right. Tree falls down. You grab all the wood. Now is where it gets spicy. Oh, there's a boar. Where have you come from, sir? Okay, and you can see there, the Grammy will help you fight. That was amazing. What an example. But the Grammy is also very, very useful. So we're going to press G to open up our Grammy menu. Now, they're called Grammy because they're a programmy clever. So they actually have some presets. So we have chop trees. So we can load in chop trees. When the play button is pushed, it will loop that your Grammy will search for a tree and attack it until it's broken. So we're going to press play. Oh, look at that. He's just going to go and attack stuff. Like, he'll take down trees for you until you tell it not to now. As long as you stand somewhat near him, because he doesn't like to go on his own. Like, if I run away, look. They get a bit nervous and they come back with you. So let's send them back. And then these things in the ground, these are bugs. So it's a fragment of a bug. You actually use these to level up later on in the game. But as you can see, we also have a skill tree. We can make buggy. We get a skill point for each one of us. So Grammy gets a skill point. I get a skill point. I find the best thing to do is honestly just to make Grammy as strong as possible. I always get the first strength level up as well. As you can see right now, Grammy's just chopping stuff down and not doing much else. But there are ways for you to set up the code. I mean, you saw in this, there's a lot of options here. Like, so like select an action for 2 seconds, throw exception, exit the process, restart the process. You can actually set up a full loop here, which is like loop, search tree, attack until broken, find items and bring to player, and then loop it again. It's super clever. And I feel like this is quite a basic style of like, I think this is considered coding. I don't know what it's actually called. I think someone said it was called scratch coding, but it still makes me feel really smart when I'm doing it, right? And that's the key thing for me. We can help Grammy cut down the tree too, just to speed up the process a little bit, because we're just trying to get 30 pieces of wood right now. Let's get this last one, Grammy, and then we're going to stop. You get that down. Good for you, right? Stop cutting what you're cutting and come back with me to the main area where we're going to go ahead and make a processing table. So this is the processing table. You can rotate things so they can be wherever you want them to be or whatever shape. And then we go over here and we are going to automate the production of arrows. This is where it gets very cool, very interesting. Okay, so we want to select arrows. So we're going to create 2 single type containers. So we're going to go to B, we're going to go to storage, single type container. So we're going to do 1 here and just 1 in front. Now we are going to go ahead and use the bug fragments that we have. So we have 1 of these and we can actually go ahead and grab a new city Grammy. So here's a little city Grammy helper. And they can of course be renamed to whatever you see fit. But now we can do this thing called craft material. So he's going to craft a material on the processing table, and he's going to go to this container that's going to hold the wood, and then this container is where he's going to put the arrows. Now, he's going to get confused at first because I haven't put any wood in here. So if I pop some wood in there now, he will try and finish the task, but realize he can't do it. I think it was this box. I don't know if I put the box in the wrong order. Yeah, okay, so here we go. Now he's going to come back around here, realize there is wood. There it is. So now there is wood. Oh, he's got to run a long way, though. Hold on, let me move this stuff. Let me move this over here. Let me make some space for him. Bless him. Giving him no space. So the cool thing is you can break down and rebuild things. Just to give yourself a bit more space. So you go, now he is automating making arrows for me. So it will take him a little while because of the way that I've set him up here, which is not great. Okay, so we want to get ourselves a stone bow now, and we need some more logs. We have the stones. Told you we need those. I can just set Grammy off to go and attack a tree again. So we can go and teamwork this. Grammy, you get that tree. I'll get this one. I think they're actually stronger than me at the minute, so they're probably going to get it done faster than I. Yeah, they are. Now we should be able to craft ourselves a bow. We certainly can. Grab that completed item. I'm going to quickly drop this stuff out of my main hotbar. It does get very overwhelming with the amount of stuff that you can get in this. Okay, next thing we're going to build is a campfire that adds a respawn point. But I am missing stones. So if I really wanted to, I could program... There you go, look. So I can actually program Grammy to go and get stone. So if I come over here and get near some stones, they are going to repeatedly do this. Also, look how sad they look when they can't fulfill the task. It actually breaks my heart. Don't be sad. It's okay. Look, here's some stones. Come and grab these. Look, and then they grab it and they bring it to you. And look how happy they look. Look at their little digital eyes. My goodness. How adorable. Okay, that's enough that we need for now. So we're going to stop that and head back home. So now we can build ourselves a little fireplace and we can register that as a spawn point. Meaning that if we do die or anything bad happens, we do respawn back here. So this little guy's run out of wood now, so I'm going to give him a couple more pieces, but we don't have too much at the moment. So it wants us to get a shield next, and the stone shield requires bark. Now, obviously, we do not have bark, but the game does a great job at teaching you how to actually do things, which I think is massive. I think sometimes tutorials don't actually give you enough information. So I'm going to have this little guy chop through all this stuff, and then we'll be back once we've got enough. As you can see in the top right corner there, every time we chop something down or we do something, we get experience points, and the experience points will get us even closer to leveling up. So we just leveled up again. So I'm going to go ahead and make Grammy stronger again, just because it's really useful to have a very helpful ally. I'm also going to expand my inventory slots by 2 because this game does have a lot of stuff. It can get a little overwhelming. We're going to open up this chest that is hidden away. Gives us some stone, some mushrooms, a berry, and some extra bug fragments. Now, the reason the bug fragments are so good is because, one, it helps you get more Grammys, and the more Grammys you have, the more automation you can have. So if you're a fan of games that allow massive automation, this could absolutely be the game for you. Hey, Grammy, I think we got enough for now. Let's head back. Look at the subs. You guys are doing so well. This is where we're going to get our bark from now. To get bark, we need wood, and we could do that ourselves, but of course, we are actually going to use these things here. So I'm going to put some wood in here. I'm going to do 8 pieces of wood. And now, if I build one more container, which I can just do, and I get another Grammy, which I can do, it costs 3 now. Each time you buy one, it gets more expensive. And I set him to craft material. I ask him to use the other processing table, and he's going to get wood from the same chest as the other guy, and he's going to put the final thing in here. And what he's going to make is the bark that we suggested. So now he's going to get that. So he's going to go take wood from here as well, and he's going to get to work on making us bark, and he's going to put the bark in this chest. Now what this does, it just frees up loads of time where, like, instead of me having to be sat at, like, my spawn, making sure I'm getting on with everything and chopping everything down and all that good stuff, we can automate massive amounts of it, and we'll have them running around doing loads of work whilst we run around enjoying the game. One little life hack I found is that the darker it gets in game, the easier it actually becomes to see the bugs that you can pick up. So you can see this, all these little silver wisps are where you can go and get the things that allow you to get more Grammys. So in theory, nighttime is quite dangerous. Lots of mobs come out. Of course, there's mobs and things for you to fight. There's even like bosses and mini bosses in this game. Oh, another chest. Nice. Take the stones and the mushrooms. I'm actually going to head back to base right now because it is getting dark and the nighttime is far more dangerous. There's a lot of mobs that pop up. There's a deer just vibing out. Now, in theory, killing the deer actually would be quite good because you need some of their, like, skin for things, but you always feel bad killing the, like, neutral mobs in games, you know? I don't want to do it. I'm going to give them another 10 wood because they look lost when there's nothing to do, bless them. I'm going to take the wooden arrows off their hands. And then despite the fact it's so dangerous, we got the bark here. Right, so now we have everything we need, and we can start crafting a shield for ourselves. And then we're going to put the shield on our person in our offhand there. So now we have a shield there, and we can hold right-click to block attacks. So that is the end of the actual tutorial, which is good. This explained everything you need. You now understand the basics of automation. You understand that you can rest at a campfire. But just to show you guys how good it is to have this little guy with us, because enemies become more active at night, we're going to run out, see if we can find a mob, just so that you guys can see how useful it is. Look at this. Here's a wolf, right? So the wolf's going to focus on me. I'm going to hit it once. And then now, I can run around, basically kiting it. And your little helper is just unbelievably strong. Like, arguably too strong, honestly. But for now, we don't really need anything from the mobs at night. We are just going to go ahead and get a good night's rest. At the campfire, we're going to press E, rest until morning. We're going to plonk ourselves down, get a little good night message, and you have a little rest. These little guys don't rest, though, sadly. They're hard at work. Oh, there's another wolf, actually. We'll fight that. There you go. With the assistance there, we made that look very, very easy. Pop another 15 in there. And then now you're basically just into playing the game in freestyle mode. You can basically do what you want as you please. We, of course, are going to collect, make sure we can get the materials that we need. So we're going to grab ourselves a pickaxe. And we have no limestone for a sword. So we definitely need to get on limestone because the sword is a 13 attack and an axe is only 2. So there is actually a huge difference. And look at this ominous area over here. Look at that. You can swim in the game, but if your stamina runs out while you're swimming, you do start taking damage. So it's best to try and... honestly, I've just tried to avoid swimming. But look at this area. So this is the first bug. And because it's a bug, you can summon it with an item from a hotbar. But when you try and summon it, it says 2 special items are required. And then they ping some randomly generated towers. Now, I think for the sake of the tutorial areas, that's what one looks like. And that's the nearest one. And then there'll probably be another one somewhat close by. But as you can see, from eating the foods, I do have increased stamina at the moment. My stamina is up to 40 instead of the normal, I think it's 25 or 30 that you usually have. Almost like tutorial towers. Deer may need to be attacked and defeated from a distance. The materials they drop can be put to effective use. So even the game's telling you, we know you don't want to kill them, but you might have to. And now look, I mean, now he's going to go and attack Grammy. However, for the most part, they will focus on you. And that means that you can let your assistant attack them from the side. It just makes for a much easier combat experience. So we're going to go up into this. Basically, all this has in it is a chest that has one of the items that we need to spawn the boss. And it has some random useful things, but it also has a mob spawner. So I'm probably going to get attacked by about 4 different things at once here. If it's take things down one at a time, it's going to make this much easier. We have our shield still as well, so we can block if we need to. Blocking just basically means you take a smaller amount of damage. But for the most part, look, these guys are all focusing on me. See, I just blocked there for 3 damage instead. And while they're focusing on me, Grammy's just laying into them, mate. So So that's that done. And this does have a spawner upstairs, so you do have to kind of move a little quick because they are just constantly spawning mobs. Should be able to clean this out. I think it'll be one more thing will spawn. Probably a white wolf. I feel like white wolves spawn up here a lot. Oh, red shroom, actually. You gotta be careful because at the start of the game, you don't have much HP. Can be a little risky. Okay. Grammy's gonna finish that off, hopefully. I'm gonna try and pickaxe this so that nothing else spawns. Nice. You get a bunch of bug fragments. You come over here and you get a chest with some limestone, some bones, some spores, and a meadows seal. Now, the meadows seal, in case it's not obvious, is the one of the two things that you need to spawn the mini boss. But to do it, as it said, you need 2 special items. So you guessed it. The other tower's over here. Nice. 3 more bug fragments, and we go ahead and grab our second seal of the meadow. Now, the useful things we're getting here as well are spores are really good for crafting stuff. We've got 44 bug fragments now, meaning we can get a whole bunch of little Grammys when we get back. Okay, and we return home with a bit of wood. So I'll put some more wood in here because these guys are confused as heck like them. They've had nothing to do for ages. Let me show you how you expand the city. So basically you can go on tiles and you can build new tiles. So what I find strange is that you actually use wood to build the stone. So as you can see there, I'm just using wood there to build stone. And then what's interesting is you use stone to make the field. So this is like farmland that we can use, right? This is where it gets really cool. Because obviously chopping down wood all the time is monotonous. It gets a little boring. You don't want to constantly be doing it, right? Well, you can summon a couple of these little guys. In fact, that's the most we can summon before we level up. So I've just summoned extra ones. We don't really need this many, honestly. This is where automation gets wild, all right? So, in this container, I am putting tree seeds. Now, I'm going to find this Grammy here. And I'm going to say forestry. I'd like to use this field, please. And I would like you to get the seed from here. And I would like you to put the wood in this one here. So look at this code. You can plant to field 1, then try, if it's nearby, pick up a seed, then pick up item from tree seed 4. If you have an item, plant the seed. If you can't plant a seed, then you can cut a tree. And it's a big piece of scratch there. So he's going to go off and do that. Right, so he's going to run. There he goes. So he grabs a tree seed. And he plants a tree seed. Now, these two are going to work on literally the exact same job. These two are both going to run in. They're going to check, oh, can I place a seed? If they can place a seed, they'll place one. So he's got one now. He's going to run over. He's going to plant the seed. And this guy's also planting a seed. So we've doubled the work rate of these little monsters. But what's cool is when these trees grow, which takes about 500 seconds, they are going to then grow and they're going to start cutting the trees down. Now, when they cut the trees down, wood falls out. Wood falls out, they pick it up and they bring it to this chest here. So they're going to constantly be putting wood in this chest. And then from this chest, these guys are going to be constantly making bark and arrows. Meaning my entire arrow factory now is entirely automated. As you can see here, we can in fact make ourselves a proper sword now, which is going to be very useful. So because I've given my Grammy so much strength upgrade, they're actually look how much they hit the tree for, 25. I only hit the tree for 6. And look, these trees are growing now. Everything is getting automated and everything is running smooth. I'd say the main thing that we need to do now really is probably try and get ourselves some armor. Although we can make this with spores and stone. It's actually very cool. This is a light ring. And you actually, you put it on and it constantly makes you slightly emit light. Meaning when you go out at nighttime, it's much safer, much easier. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of grinding, get ourselves some armor, and then I'll show you guys the big bad boss. Oh my goodness, the automation has started. Look, chopping down the trees that are growing and he grabs them. And he puts them in this chest. Meaning now, these guys should always be working. They're going to have a pretty good supply of logs at all times. Because now, they're going to chop down these trees. And they've already started replanting these seeds, look. So they check if they can plant first, then chop later. And they drop everything off in here. Meaning these guys now are going to be able to be constantly at work. I don't know if we're going to constantly need to get arrows, but I mean, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. So just to show the damage I do now when I fight things like boars, it's much, much higher than it previously was. So I would say right now, generally, we are probably under-leveled to fight the boss. But again, because it is kind of a little bit of skill-based PvE, I'm going to take my chances. I'm going to very arrogantly assume that I can win. Into the hotbar, please. Oh, there he is. The Treant. So, he has big attacks like that. Oh my goodness. So you have to make sure that you keep your stamina up, because you got to be able to dodge. He does like to run at you as well. Yeah, there you go. But again, between my damage and the damage of you guys, the Grammy, we should be able to take him down relatively quickly. Oh my goodness. That was very close. Oh, and we've attracted a nearby boar. That's not good. Oh, he's stuck on the tree. Oh, wait, can we cheese him? It's okay, we're doing well. Where's he going? Mate, come back. We're scrapping. We're scrapping at the minute, mate. Can you come back? Just getting little hits in when I can is very important. I have nothing I can eat. Oh, wait, I can eat that again. It'll let me. Oh, I was hoping that would give me some HP back. Let's get him regenning. I'm regenning. And he's dead. He's defeated. Boom. He drops a whole ton of bug fragments. And you can actually resummon him if you want to. But we defeat our first boss. There are other bug monsters to slay. You might want to create something with the dropped items. So, the key thing that he dropped here was the Meadows record. Object with data from the Meadows of New Beginnings. You can exchange materials at the city symbol. So this is really good. These things that you get from defeating bosses are actually what you use to level up the city. And leveling up the city is what allows you to progress into new items and new general things. Okay, so now when we come here to the symbol of city, the city symbol here, we can use a Meadows record to buy it to level up. I realize now I've actually got mixed up. This is actually required. This is what you use to build a town. I actually never checked if putting this down again. I have actually got mixed up with what I thought things were. But yeah, that's how you make a new thing. So I guess you can have cities all over the place. Because what you're going to find is there's a whole bunch. Obviously, we've only explored this part of the map. There are huge, huge areas with differing skill levels and things like that. So if you look here, data analyzer, we have 3 core crystals now. This thing is huge, by the way. So we've built ourselves a data analyzer. Now, what that does is you put items in it. And it's basically like a way of teaching them about things. So I put one of those in, that gives me 1 bit. A piece of stone, 2 bits. One of those is another bit. Now our world level is level 2. So the world level is increased, allowing for the construction of new facilities. The adventure in this world starts here. Explore the endless wilds. Oh my goodness, guys. Can you relax? So now when we go into our build menu, there's a bunch of new stuff, including a vortex of return. So if we're really far out, we can actually make ourselves a portal to come home. There's a blast furnace now, a mine, which is when you can just set your little guys to go off and mine. But we need a stone node core, and I don't know where that is. And you actually have a full building menu too. So you can actually go out of your way and build yourself a proper house, which I will do at some point. But all in all, I think this is a good place to wrap up the first episode of Omega Crafter. If you did enjoy this, then please check out the link to the game in the description of the video. A huge thank you to Omega Crafter for sponsoring this one. I've been Seapeekay. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.